The first thing we need to do is select the correct interface. This will show DiagRA X which device we're currently using. You can see here I'm selecting both an Ethernet device and a CAN device. Note, if your device does not show up in this list, make sure that you have the device driver installed, and also make sure that the device is plugged in when you start DiagRA X. Next, we'll want to configure Workspace. Workspaces hold the information about what will actually be running measurements and calibration on. So think of your ECUs or other measurement devices. You can see here just a list of devices that we sometimes support and work with. Most commonly used ones show up in this list. We're going to go ahead and just select a control unit for now to simulate an ECU. Next thing we'll want to do is give this a name and point DiagRA X at whatever A2L we'll be using. DiagRA X will then load this A2L file and then check it for any errors and initiate the configuration. You'll see we have an issue with the connection here. This is actually because we're connected to a CAN channel, but my computer has no CAN connection currently. So we'll just go ahead and change this from a CCP to a simulator for now, just to show the functionality. Next, we just hit the Establish Communication button, and we're ready to go. Now we'll go ahead and add just a second device here. So you can see we can do multiple devices and add their data in conjunction. We're going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to add it as a simulated device as well. Hit connect, and we're good to go. We'll give this one a new name as well. Call this ECU BCM. Yeah, that'll work. Next, we're going to set up our experiment, which will contain all the information about the visualizers, the variables being tracked, and hold it all together with a project and a small description. This is actually all that's required to set up our experiment. So once we're done here, we'll just go ahead and simply click at the top here, and you'll be greeted with the variable manager page. Finally, we want to set up some worksheets for our experiment. So we'll add a worksheet, choose a template, and then we'll choose some visualizers here. Next, we're going to want to name it. And then you'll see, if we click this pencil, then we're not able to edit this anymore. We click the pencil, we're able to edit again, resize these windows, and scale them how we'd like to. That looks good. So next, in the top left, we'll click on Manage Variables, and then we'll be able to configure the variables that we're going to use. Let's select some random ones here. You'll see if I try and add these to a visualizer, some of these are not compatible with this visualizer. So DiagRA X will warn us about that and only put the appropriate ones in. So let's pick some different, more appropriate ones. You can see they're added. We'll add them to all three just so we have something to look at. And then we simply hit done up at the top left. And we can see our visualizers having been populated with these values. Now if we go online, we can see these have live data. And just note that this is a simulation here. If we click this pencil, we can resize these windows actually while DiagRA X is running, while we're running measurements here. So we can resize this just to make it a little nicer looking for us, a little bit more like what we need here. And that's very easy to do on the fly.